Mario Odyssey is the first HD, truly modern sandbox Mario game, and with that comes the technological wonders that are perhaps the sprawling Sand Kingdom, Toast Arena, or maybe the towering Mount Volbona looming over the Luncheon Kingdom. But today I want to touch on a subject of the smaller maps in Odyssey, maps that make use of a significantly small space and pack in a memorable journey that is equal to the biggest ones in the game and more. Specifically, I'm going to talk about Bonneton, Fossil Falls, Lake Lamode, Lost Kingdom, and New Donk City. There are two questions to ask about what I just said. 1. Where's Snow Kingdom? I didn't include Snow Kingdom since it handles levels on the world in a much more linear way, and generally I'll cover the entire Shiveria town deal later in the video, but okay. Next question, why is New Donk City a small kingdom? Answer, I'll also get to a really detailed explanation when we get to that part of the video, but just in the meantime, try and count actually in your head how many buildings are in the main portion of this map, while you don't even notice I just squirreled through the entire city during this sentence. Let's begin.
Bonneton, the Cap Kingdom. This is a fairly simple area first time here, but if you pass through enough of the game and then come back, it will repopulate this map with moons, and this is also the first location you're directed to with post-game content. Either way, this map is an island surrounded by thick fog, making it challenging to scour the area since, without it, it would be clear to the eye, balancing the concept out. You have these Paragoombas with their charmingly handsome top hats that can scour more of the land without worry, but need time to descend and improve a challenge for unaware players with some side challenges. On the complete other end, you have frogs that jump and dive incredibly fast yet travel fairly slowly on a surface level, so you have to make the most out of your jumps. This is one of the trickier kingdoms to complete without hints, just because you need to figure out where everything is by pure exploration, which makes the smaller scope of the map so much more effective. You might not have much to cover, but you don't have to gather everything over stretching fields of nothing. This is the kind of small map that hides its size by making a long vertical stretch between the two major sections of the level, and it does so very effectively. Next kingdom, Cascade, is the exact opposite. Fossil Falls are a piece of time, somehow kept untouched aside from an entire airship and a wire going directly into it for who knows how long. This kingdom is the simplest one, being the true tutorial of how effective your cap really is. These clouds here only activate when you hit them with your hat, which seems simple, but when the kingdom expands enough, you get to this row of platforms where you can either take it slowly and wait to settle yourself before each jump, but most people end up finding out that jumping as you catch your hat activates a new kind of twirl high jump, and you can sequence those into a big chain of jumps in this section. This map is simple for the sake of just being simple. No segments have any tricky connections to the others. Things are mostly places around to make for a beautiful and memorable environment anyone can traverse. The result of this simple form of objects is actually bigger than you might think. It's the perfect place to settle into your favorite playstyle as you start the game, since the open air between and sometimes within each part gives you a lot of time to learn Mario's creative moveset and choose your favorite tricks. Unlike Bonneton, every moon in this kingdom is clear to the eye, shining, sparkling from above, and the challenge isn't exploration, but basic traversal of the map. It's not quite hardcore platforming just yet, but it's more aimless adventures meant for you to really settle in with the game. This is the smallest compared to what it contains kingdom in the entire game. Aside from two linear corridors underground, you can see everything this map has to offer right from the middle, or the start, or the end, or this corner. The way challenge is done here, that every one or two moons or doors here are very much separated from the others, and you're not really supposed to try and reach them all without using water, which as a whole serves as one big turning point. You can go into the plaza, or into one of the many underwater doors, or to one of the columns above the sea level. Within the world itself are a few moons, but this is again almost like the Snow Kingdom in the way that levels are so separated from each other. But again, Snow isn't, well, expanded in this video. I'm kind of gonna cover it now. Snow isn't in the video because it's actually smaller in linearity than Lake, so much so that giving it time would just add dead space to the video. It's just corridors or a one block of an opening. back to Lake Kingdom, this is also the introduction of water, something that was teased to a degree in the last 3 kingdoms that you play through, but not until Lake Kingdom is there a real risk or thought put into water. You're usually supposed to go down this narrow pathway with some enemies and bubbles to teach you how to swim, and after those 50 seconds, you're given a fish, a baseball bat, and a fake driver's license and are told to go kill a rabbit. This kingdom is a lot of directions you can try and go, all interesting in their own ways, and the small scale, get it, of the area makes it another one of a few good fun water levels. Up next is my favorite in the game yet, as I'll explain, not the best one, Lost Kingdom. This one caught me completely off guard, and with the challenge before it, the Nimbus Arena being a test of strength against Bowser, this kingdom tests your platforming skills and just map scouring, as we mentioned earlier, by taking your biggest strength and safety net in the game away from you, Cappy. Klepto, as the name suggests, urges you to try and beat this simple to mediocre platforming challenge, but if you end up losing track of where you need to go to find him, you might just find yourself defenseless not only against a very cute enemy, but against the highest concentration of instant death bits in the game. This kingdom takes all training wheels off and requires very fast reactions to get most of the moons in it, and can be one of the biggest obstacles during an average player's experience. This map can be scouted from the top of this mountain, which is handy since the soaring Glidon is also there, and was really my inspiration for this video, just noticing how small this map actually was and how packed with ideas and segments it is. But then, New Donk City kicked my nuts and showed me this game's the real deal. Every single inch of this map is something new that isn't a saying, this is a fact that every turn, corner, building, point and pavement has something for you to interact with. But then, looking at it from a higher point, you come to realize that the city isn't only surprisingly small, but also has no enemies whatsoever. You are free to endlessly explore the city without worries, and during the recording session I came to the conclusion this map is so filled with stuff to do on all levels, you can practically get through the entire map without touching the ground in so many ways, juggling a taxi, chaining street-like jumps. I think this is possible. Every single piece of this map is so varied and it has 4 to 5 directions to go towards from everywhere you can stand. As you can see in the 10 random screenshots I took while recording, this map is the epitome of Odyssey. It's what a 3D sandbox should be. It's a giant playground where there is no downtime and variance is everywhere. You can get to over half the moons here in more than 2 general ways, skip to every far-reaching platform from the highest buildings and hop between every 2 buildings in several ways. The variety of gameplay makes this kingdom a crown jewel of collectathons that every game can look up to, and it utilizes the new capture mechanics very rarely too, which is surprising. It's used mostly to slightly increase your speed at times and as a non-literal fast travel, which is also available, so that's kind of funny. But that's about it. Once you get past the kind of awful night area of the kingdom, which is honestly the lowest point of Odyssey, the city becomes the best playing ground Mario ever had to explore. So that's kind of it. We had Snow Kingdom, which I briefly covered, being a very linear, small level, Cap Kingdom being an eye-opener for exploration and inventiveness, Cascade Kingdom for a place for everyone to develop a personal playstyle, Lake Kingdom that stretches the boundaries of water levels and separating segments in a level, Lost Kingdom that serves as the wake-up call to really set the game on a high gear and see how good you are in controls and map memorization, and finally Metro Kingdom, which is just a platforming extravaganza and of excellence, reach with challenge and creativity at every square inch. Odyssey raises the bar for free platformers a ton, which is kind of odd knowing that there's no many competitors out there, but still, I had a lot of fun talking about this kind of stuff, and maybe I'll do some other map related videos in Odyssey soon. I don't know, possibly the subtle learning curve with how like Lake Kingdom both prepares you for the linearity of Shaveria and the waters of Bubble Lane, and Wooded Kingdom can give you a glimpse of how captures help in a vertical manner and preparing you for the Bowser Kingdom and Seaside Kingdom, for example. Overall, yeah, this video was a lot of fun to make. Hopefully it's had a message. I'm not really sure, just kind of went over everything, but it was fun. It was really fun to make. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.